Congratulations! You are the first person living on Mars. As such, you no longer need to be called Earthling. No. You are going to be called a. If your answer was Martian, you got what I thought. It made sense because, well, Martian has been around for a while. But is that a good thing? Because before you came to Mars here, and you were living on Earth, what did you think when you heard the word Martian? If there's a chance that you pictured an alien, big, small, grey-green, possibly holding a ray gun. There's a reason for that. The reason is sci-fi. For the last 100 years or so, Martians have been the bad guys. Mars Attacks, War of the Worlds. There are dozens of movies, hundreds of books in which Martians are the bad guy. The people who come down and destroy, and take over. So, people on Earth might not think of you as great. First impressions matter. Of course, you might think, well, it's a name, what does it matter? Shakespeare said, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. True, probably. But if I call that rose a weed, it won't get a chance to grow to actually become a flower. And I will never smell it because it will be removed from the garden. How about Columbus sailing to America? Well, he thought India. And when he got there, the people were called, obviously, Indians because they were already called that. Anyway, 500 years later, we definitely know he was wrong. The name is still around. More fun example, kangaroos. Kangaroos are fun. Explorers came to Australia and they were walking around and they saw the kangaroos hopping. And they asked the native people, what do you call those animals? And they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't understand you. And I don't understand you apparently translated roughly to kangaroo. And so the explorers wrote down kangaroo, and they are still called kangaroos, even though it was wrong. That story might not be true, by the way, because the chance that the native people and explorers only said, I don't understand you once, limited. Or maybe the explorers thought they really liked kangaroos. They are fun to look at. Point is, a name given wrongly, a name given mistakenly or by ignorance, still sticks once it's given and once it's accepted. And Martian is already being accepted. So the bad first impression is already made. Of course, on Mars itself, if everyone's called Martian, okay. Except you, now living there as first person, are getting neighbors. Congratulations. Of course, your neighbors are from a Chinese company. And China doesn't call Mars Mars. No, China calls it Firestar. It might be cooler than Mars. But your neighbors are now called Firestar people. You're Martian. And the vision is not great among humans. Maybe among, Martians it is. Earth, not great. Luckily, you have more than identity. Because, like me, I'm from Earth, but I'm also European. I'm also Dutch. You are from Mars, but besides that, of course, you're also the region you live in. Or the place that you live in. Except, who's going to call that? Because there's a good chance that once you land it, the company that brought you there named the place. And companies might not be as creative with place names as we want them to be. So, the question here is, do you like the name Martian? Do you want to be called that? Or do you want to have a say in it beforehand? It's a bit the question and the type of question I want to discuss with you. Think of something and think, would this be a problem? Would this problem become a crisis? And should we think about it before there is no longer an option? Right now, no one lives on Mars. And, well, we have time to think about this. But the moment someone sets foot on Mars, they will have a name. And unlike Columbus, the chance that people land on the wrong planet are a lot smaller than him finding America. We should think about this beforehand. As such, I made a space series, a Mars series, with a number of videos which I want to publish every week, and I want to discuss with you. And hopefully we can think and say, well, is this a problem? This is not a problem. And, well, I really hope we can at least get some awareness or maybe even some solutions. Thank you very much for watching. Next week, we're going to discuss the gold you just seem to have found here and how likely it is you get to keep it. Have a very nice day and see you next week. Shortly, because this is the first video, and this might feel a bit rough and a bit over the place. I think I did okay, but the idea is to do stuff in a single click. I don't want to edit too much because, well, thinking is messy and, it's better to be a bit rough, a bit unorganized than, well, clean and empty. So I hope you appreciate it. Once again, would you want to be called a Martian? Or do you have a better name? Let me know, and I hope to hear from you. Bye.